Today, everyone who has a proper education accepts the scientific approach based on asking questions, looking for evidence, and thinking things through. But religion asks people not to question, just to believe what they're taught, rather than think for themselves. That doesn't really seem right. Can you comment on that?
That seems crazily wrong. Yeah. Particularly if you look at a certain aspect of the Christian tradition, and others as well. But I'm thinking of people like Berggruen of Nyssa, Augustine, the fathers of the church. They talk about faith as a journey, Berggruen of Nyssa's term, a pilgrimage, Augustine's term. And what that means is, let's face it, none of us who is committed Christian really fully understands what God is like, what the relation with God could be. The point of faith is that you're on a journey of practice, of contact with others, of sacramental life and so on, where you hope you can get closer to God. I hope this won't be as much a terra incognita as it is now. So the idea that you don't question sounds so counterintuitive to me. I mean, how could you you said this to Augustine, he would say, where you dropped from? And in a way, people have dropped from a strange planet, which is modernity, if you like, which is a very simple idea that there's only one kind of questioning which is valid, which is that of natural science, and that's right. And that's going to answer all the questions. And that anybody who doesn't exclusively devote their attempt to answer these questions in a natural science type way must be just refusing the questions, right? But that's not at all what it's like. And it's nothing necessarily totally to do with religious faith. Everybody, there are very few people, or else they're in a very bad way, who really have all the answers. I mean, if they think they really have all the answers about how to live, they've got a big problem, right? So whatever your ultimate metaphysical or religious beliefs, whatever your commitments, you may be committed to, an atheist committed to a classless society, egalitarian society, whatever. You're always coming up against really difficult questions. How do I make myself better? How do I work better for this? How do I realize this? What exactly does it mean, right? And as I say, if they don't, they're really rather dangerous to themselves and everyone else. So we're all in a certain way on a journey, and we're all questioning. But, there's a certain style of questioning, which is that of modern post-Galilean science. Now, the thing about that is, this revolution in the 17th century, tremendously successful in starting new lines of understanding of the natural world. Just absolutely, that took off with Galileo, Newton, and so on. But it took off by restricting itself in a certain way. The important thing about the Galilean Newtonian revolution is that it wanted to understand the world without any reference to what you could call human meanings or purposes, the role things play in our lives, why we have longings in this direction or that direction. It was trying to understand the natural world in purely efficient causal terms. You might almost say mechanistic, right? And with these methods, which are very good for what they're aimed at, but with these methods, you don't get anywhere if you ask questions like, well, what's the meaning of life? What's really virtue? What is a really excellent human life? Why do I feel this terrible sense of despair at certain times? Why do I think that the world is empty, but, and I want to? All these questions, that you want to ask if you have lived this kind of life that we're all living, can't be answered with the methods of natural science. Because that's deliberately forsworn, looking at the meanings things have for human beings. And rightly so. You can't understand how rocks work in terms of human meanings. And that was a great, very important insight. But you can't understand how humans live with meaning by the science of rocks or